Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of the show. Today's features rockers, Misplaced Religion. Had a lot of fun hanging out with these guys. Recently we met at the Battle of St. Louis that I was a part of, and so it was really cool to get to sit and talk to them and properly meet them today, and hope you enjoy this episode. Do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Roughneck Beard Company and American Rambler, located right here in St. Louis over in the Maplewood area. Swing by the shop or shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com. You know, Santa knows the secret to a well-kept beard and mustache. This holiday season, give the gift of Roughneck Beard Company for all your bearded and mustached men in your life. It truly is the gift that just keeps growing. Shop 24/7 at roughneckbeardcompany.com and use my code RPP15 for an exclusive 15% off your purchase, including all their favorite beard oils, beard balms, your junk powder, or their Roughneck Beard Batter, one of my personal favorites. A lot of great products over there, so check it all out. And they make great stocking stuffers or any holiday gifts. So check it all out again, roughneckbeardcompany.com today. Also, big thank you to my friends over at Friendship Brewing Company right here in Wentzville, Missouri. You can stop in and grab a cold beer or a sandwich or anything else. They got a lot of great food and drinks, and it's just a fun place to hang out. Great atmosphere. But for if you're into craft beer, there's all kinds of beverages for you, and including they just recently launched new beer in can with in support of Lance Corporal Jared Smith that passed away recently, and all the proceeds of that can and beer go to support his foundation in his name. So very cool that they're doing that and giving back to the community. It's turning a negative into a positive. So that's a really great thing, and it's just one example of the stuff they do to support the community. So let's give back and support them. Show some love to our friends over there at Friendship Brewing Company. Find more details at friendshipbrewingcompany.com or on the socials. And again, visit them out here in Wentzville, Missouri, and say, hey, tell them Shane sent you. If you need anything else from me, you can feel free to email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on the socials. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think of the brand new Misplaced Religion stuff. And if you need anything else, find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. All right, that is it for me, everybody. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this brand new episode with Misplaced Religion.
Podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
What's going on, everybody? This is Misplaced Religion. We're on the Rock Paper Podcast today. I'm Ryan.
I'm Derek.
I'm Jabbo.
Let's do it.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Misplaced Religion. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Hello.
This is super cool, man. We are Pacific, Missouri, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Took a little drive up here through the hills, and it was just real scenic. Fall, all the fall colors out.
Coming out to the sticks.
Yeah, man. But I'm super glad to be here. We got a nice little spot here on the patio, enjoying this beautiful day, and I thought this would be a lot of fun to get to properly sit down and get to know you guys a little better. And so I guess before we get rolling too far, you all want to say hi and introduce yourselves for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Jabbo. I play the bass.
I'm Derek. I'm the drummer.
And I'm Ryan, and I sing and play guitar.
There we go, man. Yeah. So this is cool for me because I've known you guys a little bit now. I don't think we ever, like, any of us really properly met that night, but I was invited to be judge of this Battle of STL, Battle of the Bands competition thing that you guys were a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched you all play that night, and
Derek,
that's
the goddamn AC unit. You didn't tell us about this.
I didn't think about that.
Well, turn it off, dude. Is that gonna go into the, like, right now, the noise that's happening?
it's not too bad. Now, I mean, that was the first fired up when it was kind of loud, but
Yeah, I can't do anything about that.
yeah.
This is what happens out in the boonies. This is
Right.
what we were just talking about.
Nah, it's cool. I think we can make it work.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw you guys play that night, and I was very impressed. And so it was for me, that whole night was like really special to kind of come in and not know hardly anything about any of the bands. Like I purposely didn't do any homework at all. Like I wanted to go in and just learn from their 3-song performance.
Man,
and,
you do the things that you do it the way that we do things.
Right,
Like you
yeah.
don't do any homework. You don't get ready. Like that's exactly how we do it.
Right.
It makes for some good
I mean,
performances.
I definitely, like, when I have to, I do.
Right,
Yeah.
I listen to your music, and like before coming here today and stuff, like, so I do listen to records and things, but I don't like to. I didn't want to have any kind of preconceived thing or whatever. I just wanted to kind of go in at what you show me is what I know of the bands. So that show was like a lot of fun, man. Especially it just realizing, like, I've been doing this for a long time now in St. Louis and getting to meet all kinds of bands, and then to go something like that where I realized, like, there's a whole
Up and coming.
a whole bunch of groups up and coming that I have no idea about yet, and it was fun to, like, learn about a lot of new music that night. So
Yeah, a lot of those bands really kicked ass.
yeah, for sure.
Everybody there.
Yeah.
I've never traveled to any other cities before, so before I say this, I might kind of sound like an idiot, but I feel like the St. Louis music scene right now is popping. Like I feel like there's a whole bunch of bands that are like our age, like right now. It's just like weird. It's just like there's like a generation of it going right now, and maybe it's always been like that because I don't know. But I just feel like there's so many bands right now in
Yeah.
St. Louis that are like our age. Like you just did the Amethyst interview,
Yeah.
like that's one of them. The Richters, that Format, like Bleach. Like
yeah.
there's like too many to even.
Yeah, and
Think
like
of
we
or
just
say.
did, the past 2 days, we just keep meeting more bands.
Sure,
We
yeah.
did the Road to Point Fest, and we met like 4 new bands, and then yesterday we met another band, and it's just like just keep finding them. There's
That's
so
what I'm
many.
saying. I mean, I'm sure that's how it is in every city,
Yeah,
but it
but-
just feels so cool, like in St. Louis, that's like a thing as well. So, no, it's awesome. Like this band we played with last night, they're called Dialogue, and they were like just so sick, and I never heard of them before, and it was just like I didn't even listen to any of their music before we played this gig with them last night, but it was so sick seeing them live, and they were just like every single song was like a headbanger after a headbanger, and it's just
Right.
like cool because like just didn't even expect that. And then it was just like out of the blue, super awesome new band that's been around this whole time that we didn't even know about. So
Yeah, I feels like I think there's probably been elements of that, like, for a long time. That's that same. I mean, I feel like I've been saying it for years and years, and I still feel the same way today. But that St. Louis is like bubbling under as like this next like hotbed of talent, and like like people look at an Austin or Nashville or whatever, some of these big music towns and stuff, and I feel like St. Louis needs to be in that conversation. Because and again, like you're saying, probably other cities probably feel the exact same way, but there's so much going on here in St. Louis, and it's such an like ideal position to be in for touring wise and everything
Yeah.
too. And like it's just like so many cool things that to offer here in St. Louis, and there's
It's exciting what you're talking about though. Like you guys are all kind of coming up at the same time.
That's what it feels like, and it
all.
feels like they're like all around the same age too.
Right.
So I just think it's kind of crazy. There's so many of them.
So hopefully you guys can all stick together and continue to do cool shit together and stuff. And
right. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just like a community.
Right.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, I met. You mentioned Bleach. I've known those guys for quite a few years, and already when they're still very young guys. But I met them at a similar kind of a Battle of the Bands thing, and again they just came out and blew my mind. Like I'm like these guys are like they were like 14 at the time or something like that, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? Like this is crazy. So
yeah,
they're very good. I'm excited to keep watching and see what happens for those guys. So I'm just glad they're back. I know they kind of took a minute off and stuff, but they're back with some new music, so that's exciting.
I don't know all the lore of Bleach, so I couldn't even tell you, but I know that they do some cool shit now, so that's what I do know. For sure,
yeah. And I don't know if you might have said that, but Dead Format, another good friends.
Those are our buddies.
Those are our main homies. We love those guys. Shit. Like those guys are sick.
Oh yeah, but I'm glad they just dropped some brand new music too.
Oh,
so
it was good too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you listened to it all, but Toxic Escapism, I think is what it's called. That one just like it hits me, man.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those guys. So, so we just talking about we just had a couple of big shows. Kind of you said this kind of closing out your guys' year. But we just had Road to Point Fest, which was always a good time. And again, like you're saying, I feel the exact same way as a fan. I go to those nights, and it's like you maybe go for one band that you really know, but then like all of a sudden you get introduced to 4 or 5 other groups that you had no idea about, and like it's just an exciting time to get to meet all sorts of new music coming out of St. Louis and or beyond, and those are always good parties, man. And obviously at the end of the day, when somebody gets to go play the Point Fest show and stuff, or a couple people, whatever it is, and so that's a nice prize to get to showcase yourself in front of a nice large 25,000 30,000 people or something like that out there. So but how you guys what you guys said you hanging out on the loop selling tickets to the other night?
Yeah, it was just me and Derek. He had a gig doing what were you? Yeah, he was doing a wedding video. He has multiple side hustles. Right. He's a side hustle master. So yeah. So me and Derek just went out for just like an hour and a half and just we're just playing any old song that we could think of. And we sold like 4 or 5 tickets. It wasn't anything crazy, but we got a little bit of like tip money too. It was just fun. We like never did it before, something like that. So
for sure,
it was a cool experience.
Yeah, just putting yourself out there, trying something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said you had some visitors come by.
We had a little amp and we had to turn it off.
So you get some street cred going, huh?
Yeah, because why did we have to turn it off?
Because we were rocking too hard.
Yeah.
Who told us to turn it off?
The police.
The police told us to turn it off. That's right.
The police, they came up and they're like, nah, you have to.
Yeah. Stuart Copeland was like, come on.
No, but that Road to Point Fest gig, that was this Friday. That was November 5th. So a couple nights ago. Pops just knows how to. They just know how to run shit over there. Yeah. Like it's always the greatest experience playing at Pops. Like they give you waters and stuff, and they got a green room for you in the back, and they're all just so nice to you. And these guys got drink tickets, so it's like I don't know. They're all just so nice up there, and it's like just the most fun place to play. It's Pops. Like how much better can you get?
Yeah, like the sound guys there, especially. Like you meet people everywhere, or whatever, but like the sound guys at Pops are just kind, and like no matter what you say, if you do something wrong, they're like, don't worry about it, man. We'll make it right. And it's nice. It's very, very friendly there. And
it's like
Pops,
they want
crazy.
You to be there.
Yeah.
Some places are like,
you feel welcome.
God, these guys, come on.
You feel very welcome.
This is what I'm doing with my time right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that I agree. I've been fortunate enough to do throw a couple of shows at Pops, and they've always been very good to me, and so yeah, they're top of the top tier, man, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know one of my favorite sound guys around, John Berube down there. He's always crushing it. So, and super fun to work with. And so I don't know exactly all those, but I think he's going through some things and taking some time off. So hopefully we'll be back behind the board here soon. And but yeah, it's always a good time down there. And then if you get the Philly wagon afterwards, that's always a nice bonus too. So I get to go out there and it's not there every night, but if you ever get to enjoy the Philly wagon after midnight and down there or something like that,
We've only played there twice. It hasn't been out yet.
Yeah. But it hits the spot after rocking out all night.
Yeah, I bet it does. That's the thing that we do. Like, I mean, I feel like everyone does this though, but like we just like get so much fast food after we get done playing a gig. It's like 1 a.m. We're like, well, Taco Bell or White Castle is open. So then we do that, and then we regret it instantly. Pretty much after it goes into our systems, we regret it. Yeah,
I used to work at Broadway Oyster Bar for about 5 years, and immediately next door is their White Castle, and I was like, so I'd sit there and smell those sliders cooking all night long, and I'm just like, well, I guess I'm going to White Castle tonight. So it's like,
You've been tempting me all night.
yeah,
They're like disgusting burgers, but they're like so good at the same time.
Right.
They're like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I get those chicken ring sandwiches a lot too. Those are
solid.
Pretty solid.
Just tear me up.
Yeah.
Derek's favorite fast food is Taco Bell for some reason.
When I'm drunk.
You know what sucks? No matter what you are, McDonald's. I always end up going to McDonald's at like 2 a.m, like right as they're closing, and they always like never put salt on the fries at that time at night. I know they intentionally do it too, and just because I'm coming there so late. I mean, not just me personally, to everybody who goes there that late, but
not just you.
it's like a slap in the face whenever I start eating the fries and there's no salt on them. I'm like, God damn it.
So you keep some salt in your car.
Yeah.
You so you guys also just played the next Saturday night yesterday as we're recording. You guys got to meet up with friends from that Battle of STL show, that Beekman.
Yeah, Beekman headlined, and then Dialogue also. So
what's that like for you guys walking down there? Like that's
surreal.
Yeah, Blueberry Hill and the Duck Room down there is like, that's a pretty iconic room for sure in St. Louis, and
definitely the most iconic place we've played. And one of the best shows we've played too. The cool thing about last night was just like the crowd that was there. There's a lot of times like we play a gig and the crowds that are there for like that, like the band that they came for, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like whenever there's a band playing, it's like their crowd is there. And then whenever they're done, it's like they leave. And it's like, oh, here's the next band. And here's the crowd that they brought. And then once they're done, they leave. Last night was super sick because it was like a whole bunch of people like around our age. And they were just down there for the whole night, just like wanting to listen to all 3 of these bands play music. And all 3 bands, or including us, so I should say the other 2 bands, they were super good bands. Like it was just a cool night of music all around. And yeah, it's the Duck Room. Like it's the coolest place ever down there. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Lots of good parties down there. I took my mother-in-law to see Chuck Berry down there one time, and he played there almost monthly, I think, until he passed. And like it was just like, again, I see a piece of rock and roll history right there. Like live in the flesh, playing in for a couple hundred people in the basement of Blueberry Hills.
So
pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, in the green room of that place down there, I read on there was like a picture on the wall. Well, they had a whole bunch of pictures of Chuck Berry down there, obviously, but there was one picture that showed the numbers of like shows that he's played, and it said something like 209 monthly shows that he played down there.
Yeah.
So that's like literally just years and years and years and years of monthly shows that he played down there. I mean, that's
The
just
sweat
crazy.
is in that stage, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I should have licked the stage. Rolled around in it.
You become one with Chuck Berry, man. Get his energy.
Yeah, but man, that was I would have liked to have been down there. That would have been a cool party last night, and I just like hearing you guys talk about it and just thinking about it, man. Like it just gets me excited because I was right there. Like I was your age, and like I remember how much fun it was to go to those shows and see my friends up there doing, playing their music and seeing the crowd respond to it in the way they did, and it was just so much fun and just an exciting time in my life for sure. Like that was kind of my big. Right out of high school, some of my friends started playing original music out and right in about the same position you guys are at, playing at Pops and stuff, and and going. I started watching them, and Group Exit 714 and Hollow Point Heroes. They were like two groups coming out of Wentzville at that time, and like it was just so much fun. Every once a month or every other month or whatever when they got shows put together and stuff, and then going to the Road to Point Fest things and everything else. Like it was just so much fun to just again meeting all these bands, playing the music, and just it was so I really missed that. Like I wish I could. I mean, not that I can't still do that today, but it was just like it's a little more.
It was like your scene, your generation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like at the core of everything. Obviously, it's the music. We love playing music. That's why we do this. But like right there, on par with that, like the friends that we have that come out to all of these shows and the new people that we've met that like our music or just like us and like hanging out with us and they come out to the shows, like that's like just equally as cool as the whole music in itself, as having like basically like a family that comes out to like and supports us, and like it's so cool.
I always like to say like it was just exciting to be like you never knew when you were gonna like find your next favorite band kind of thing. Like obviously you got your core that you love and everything, but like all those shows you get to go and you meet some new band that you never heard of, and you're like, man, where's this been at? And all my so I just the one thing I do really love about like get the networking that happens with all these shows and stuff, and so it's always a ton of fun. But you guys been so we have we have 2 original songs out there now that are available wherever you're getting your digital music at, and you guys are currently working on your debut album, right?
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, we've got just a few more to record. We're just about there, but
let's talk
about soon, hopefully.
Let's talk about some of this. You guys released your first single out there, and that was Step Up, right? So let's talk about Step Up a little bit.
That one came out on 4th of July, and that was the first song we've ever put out. It did pretty well. I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm really waiting for the album to come out to see, because that'll be like the whole what do you call it? Just playlist of all of our music, like discography, I guess. Like that'll be whenever we really have like music that people can like choose from. Because right now it's just 2 songs. So, I mean, it isn't like a whole lot of diversity there with that. But Step Up did really well. Like, everyone likes it that comes out and likes us. And it's just like super high energy song.
Yeah.
It's fun to play.
currently, like as I was listening to it today, I think at Spotify it says it's like 10,000 plays.
We
or whatever.
just hit
Just hit
10,000 like
10K, yeah.
last night, I think. And it's from these 2 shows we play. We keep telling every single show we play, we're like, go check us out on Spotify, please. We're very desperate.
We get on our knees.
We pay everybody to get those views. So
No big deal.
But I mean, that, like, you know, it's impressive for you know, like, again, a debut single to get that kind of traction right away and stuff. So that's you know, cool to see people responding in the way they are.
yeah, it was awesome. It's cool because I don't know, just seeing people come out to the shows and they like sing the words to that one now.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, people
it's kinda
actually listen
crazy.
to this one. Like they know the words to this
It just
one.
like it feels. You just get this different feeling when you like see people like vibe into something you created. You know, it's just I don't even know how to describe it. Put that into words.
You can't describe it.
It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like we were like whenever we started playing music, it was like I never would have expected someone to actually like the
Right.
music, like how we like our favorite bands. There's people out there that kind of like us in that similar of a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Well, we being that I don't really, you know, this is our first time, you know, talking stuff, and I don't really know much of your story. How do you 3 come together? How you guys know each other through school?
I'll
or
let
anything,
Jabba or
or-
Derek
Yeah.
tell the story right now.
Yeah, so Ryan and I went to high school together. He's a little bit younger than me. Jabba went to the same high school, but at that time we weren't really friends. And Ryan and I became best buddies. I took him under my wing.
Brothers.
And we all mountain biked, and we just met through mutual friends. And one day Jabba was like, yeah, I play bass. And Ryan's like, I play guitar. And now we're here.
And then we started kissing.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it was a weird road though. I guess that was like 3 years ago when we like kind of got together. And I mean, our first song we played was like Remedy by the Black Crows.
All right.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, we sucked.
It was pretty bad.
Okay, yeah, like we've been playing as us 3 for like a couple years.
On
but,
and off, but yeah.
So yeah, it was just like us messing around though. We never once were like, let's make a legit band and try to like play gigs and make original music. We would just like come down here and just like play
Bang on our
covers,
instruments like
kind of
cavemen.
a little bit, just like try to play the instruments well and just like hang out. I mean, at the core of it, we were all just like hanging out.
Right.
But it just started it just kept happening. Basically, we just like kept playing music, and then just kind of got more serious. And then like we had like some members come in and out, and then at the end of the day, we were like, wait a second, let's just do us 3 like the beginning. Because we were trying to, I didn't like to sing at first at all. Like I was not trying to sing. I just wanted to play guitar. So for the first like 2 years of the past 3 years, I did not want to sing. And we were looking for like frontmen and stuff. And it just like never worked out. So one day I was like, okay, I guess if we want to try to make this cool and make this our own thing, then I got to sing. Because we didn't like the other people that were coming and trying to sing and stuff. So
Actually,
it was like,
you go on.
so basically just like not even a year ago is whenever we started to just do us 3 making original music, me starting to sing and play guitar and booking gigs and stuff and becoming Misplaced Religion.
It's
So-
actually funny. I don't know when it was, maybe a year ago, probably over a year ago. Jeremy Hagley from the Richters, actually, I think we jammed with him like once. He like came over here, we played like a song, we just jammed out. But he was like we almost had a band with him, but then, you know, he went off to do his own thing. We all kind of went our own directions with music or whatever, but it was weird that, and there's been a few other people that we know that like, you know, we jammed with them for a little bit and then they kind of just went off to like, now they're in their own band, but it's just kind of, it's weird, that whole scene.
Yeah.
All just ties together.
It is. That's what I'm saying with all this. At the end of the day, it's just so weird that like we make so many connections around St. Louis and stuff. And like, even back in the day, whenever we didn't know we were making connections,
Yeah.
it turns out we're making
Right.
connections. So it's just like funny how that all works.
Yeah, man.
Small world.
Well, Black Crow's remedy like is pretty drastic difference from what you guys are doing today. So
Definitely. We've gone through so many
there
changes.
was about a 5-month span where we thought we were going to be a metalcore band.
all right.
Was
We actually
not.
played a concert.
Yeah, we
that.
played a gig where I didn't even play guitar. All I did was scream into the microphone. That's it. We were doing like Falling in Reverse covers and Dance Gavin Dance covers. And yeah, I could not sing any of that well, but I sang it at the end of the day. What else did we do? We did like Beartooth covers. It was just like a mess, but
Yeah.
it was a fun mess. Like I'm glad that we did that.
Right.
But it was like right after that first gig that we did, trying to do like metal music. We were like, all right, we're not doing this. This is not the route that we should be taking.
We were also a 4-piece at that time.
Yeah. So, so how do you guys get to where you're at today with this sound? Like, I feel like, what was there certain things where like maybe we need to go this direction, or what was the conversation that kind of led you to
I don't even know if there was a conversation really.
There was one conversation.
Was there?
The biggest conversation we ever had was we were like, just 3-piece. That's it. We were just like, let's just be a 3-piece band. And that's really it. I mean, like, we all listen to different music. Like, Derek really listens to a lot of metal music and folk music.
A lot of folk.
What do you listen
It's
to?
like reggae, indie, like funk.
Yeah.
And I
anything
listen
bass.
to a lot of, like, alternative rock, and I listen to rap as well and stuff like that. So we all three listen to the most, like, I also listen to metal music too. Like, we all kind of share music around, but we all, like, at the end of the day, listen to different music.
Our influences are kind of all over the place, and it kind of shows in the music. Like, you haven't seen the album yet; it's not out yet, of course. But you know, like Step Up, pretty heavy. Save Me is kind of indie. We've got some like blues stuff on the album. We've got some like funky stuff on the album. It's just kind of like a little all over the place. But like you kind of mentioned it earlier, where like when we have that album out, people are gonna just be kind of like be able to pick and choose through the album. Like it's going to reach a lot of people. You know what I mean? And it's not a full one sound album, but it'll just hit a different people.
Yeah, I mean that's really how I like my records anyway. I like a lot of variety, and I like.
I'm so
Here it is
sorry.
again.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, a lot of variety and stuff on it. Definitely, if that's what you like, then I mean you should like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I just cannot even wait for it. I can't even describe how ready I am to have this album come out. But back to what we were talking about, like you can hear in Jabo's bass, it's like funk. There's a lot of funk influences in your bass, I feel like.
Groovy.
And then Derek's drums, sometimes you hear a lot of like metal influence in his drums. Like he plays with double pedals and stuff. And then there's just like a lot of alternative rock stuff that I do on the guitar.
You even play with a slide. I mean, it's just kind of.
It's just like all over the place, but it's awesome. Like that's how I like it.
What's that one quote you use all the time? Like we're a compilation of everything we ever heard, or something like that.
I don't know. I say a lot of stuff. I word vomit a lot.
Every now and then, he kind of mentions is like, we're just a compilation of every sound you've ever heard, and like whatever you make, it's just going to be what you've heard, but like your style, and that's pretty much all it is. I mean, we haven't talked about like what genre we should be or what we should be going for or anything like that. We're not trying to force it. It's just whatever comes, just let that shit out,
What I said was, I remember now, it's just like every sound that any of us have ever heard in like all types of music from like our childhood up till now is what comes out in our songs that we write.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like I don't know why, but somewhere along the way, some people like felt like band needs to be this, it needs to fit in this box, and I need a stamp on it. This is rock. This is alternative rock. This is whatever.
Silly.
And but like you look at like the greats of all time and stuff, like the Beatles and Stones and whatever. Like there's they have country songs, they have rock songs, they have psychedelic kind of songs. They have there's like. They cover a lot of ground too, and or even and both of them, the Stones started as like a blues cover band and stuff. So like to think about the evolution of how they changed their sounds over the years and stuff too, and people were along with it all over the maybe not right away. I feel like sometimes when you do get kind of attached to a band and a sound, and then like they come up with the next record and it's different. Yeah, it's like they're kind of like, wait a minute, we don't know. I like what you guys were doing, but then like after a couple listens, they were like, okay, I'm in on it. And
I mean, I feel like true fans of music can look at the new sounds and be like, whoa, that's cool.
Right.
But just like normal everyday listeners, they like something that they heard. And if they're not getting that, they're like, what is this? So
I like I'm not like a super fan by any means, but I do appreciate what he does. But I talk about a guy like a John Mayer a lot, that like every record he does is like completely different than the next, and it's like and he still maintained a fan base through everyone, you know, and then people jump on and you know, that like what he's doing with in that particular record. But it's just like, again, he's just an artist, you know. It's like it's cool to see him continue to create and all kinds of different sounds. And
Well, he literally just like rides around with Dead and Company
Right,
now.
yeah.
So like
right,
what? Like that's
Yeah.
sick. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. That's so cool.
that new record though, he did like a soft rock album, sob rock, he called it. And I don't know if you guys got to listen to that, but his new record's like
Derek could tell you about him. I
It's-
don't know much about him.
it's
to be
pretty
honest.
good, man. It's like, I mean, it's just like also a ton of fun because I like what he did with the art. Like he put like the, you know, reminded me like the old when we used to have we actually had record stores back in the day, you know, like where you could actually go pick up CDs and vinyl, and that's so on the cover of that album, he's got like the price sticker on there and stuff, like and there's like little things like that, like you know, and it's like
Bring
it's
back a
just
little nostalgia.
yeah, right. It's like it looks exactly like it was in the '90s and things when you go buy an album and stuff. So that was nice little details. That was fun in the artwork. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just music's changed so much, and it's just like it's weird that how, you know, like we're saying, like talking about Spotify and stuff. Like that's like now that's how people only know their music pretty much is this streaming and stuff. But you know, it's also, I feel like it's opened the world so much where a band like yourselves, like, you know, you can put it out there in a digital format and you never know who around the world could listen to
Right.
it and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
also
Yeah, like back then you had to like start in St. Louis
Right.
and then like grow from there. But now you can like we knew a guy from Washington. I can't remember his name, but you know, he made some music and then moved out to California because he has like 6 million.
Oh, he wasn't from Washington. That guy was from like West County or something.
okay.
Ricky Montgomery.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Ricky Montgomery?
yeah, country kind of stuff.
No. He does like indie, pretty
Oh,
much just like really
alright.
indie music,
Indie
and
pop.
he just blew up off TikTok.
Yeah.
Is how
Okay.
his claim to fame.
Yeah,
Yeah, we made a TikTok, and we don't really use it though. Like I don't know. I kind of like the old way of going about it, trying to get
Yeah.
a record label or
Sure.
something. I don't know, making like videos and stuff all the time. I mean, I'm just kind of here to make music.
Yeah.
Like we tried it out and stuff, and it was actually my idea. I was like, well, I guess we should just test it out to see. I don't know. The more and more we did it, I was like, I'm just here to play music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we're active on like Instagram and stuff, but doing all that extra stuff like TikTok, I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of that. So
yeah, I agree. I think you know, a lot of times it's just like let the music speak for itself and stuff.
Right.
And like,
yeah,
and
and I mean it's
Yeah.
cool to be an entertainer, like because we still do that when we're playing music on a stage, but
Yeah.
like to like just like make videos and stuff and just like
yeah, it is
lip-sync
fun.
to songs.
And-
I don't know.
At the same time, it is fun as a fan that social media is like kind of opened it up to where you can kind of be a part of you guys, like you're part of your guys' lives,
Mhm.
even, you know, outside of the concerts and stuff, like where we can see like what it's like at band practice or what, you know, or different things, and like you get show a little bit more personality and things, but you know, again, there's a whole lot of work to, you know, even just to do that. So
That's honestly, so
Yeah.
let me go back a little bit. I guess that's what even more of it is. It's like it's a lot of work to do that, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So like I
And
go
that's
to
not why we
college
got
and
into it
I
either.
work
you know?
a part-time job and stuff. It's like hard to find time to do
Yeah.
the music and then to go even more into like the like making videos and stuff. It's just really time consuming. If it was just like us just like doing this band shit like all the time, like this was our job,
right.
then I'm sure we'd be doing that, but it's a lot.
Yep. I've it's something I struggle with a lot, trying to find the right balance in life with you know, doing the show, doing the day job, you know, going to concerts, and you know, still finding time to be at home and stuff. So it's like it's constant you know, juggling act. And
It
stuff,
is.
So, but I don't know. It's also a lot of fun though. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's cool that I get to call this, you know, my life, that I get to do all the fun shit I get to do. And,
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
so, well, let's talk about your most current release, and this was a song called "Save Me."
Well, your friends all suck and I'm stuck at home. I find myself caught up in daydreams of what I could become, and I don't want to think about what
and now readily available wherever you're getting your digital music at today. But this, if anybody, like you said, you heard Step Up, and this kind of the little more hard and heavy, kind of not real heavy, but compared to
it's definitely like
Save Me.
It's way more aggressive than Save
right.
Me. It's a fast paced, like heavier song a little bit.
Right.
Save Me is definitely the fan favorite, especially with all the honeys that like the music. It's a slower one, and it's fun to play. It's a long song, but it's a good song. I like it. It's just a lot of just like singing, like people like to sing along to that one.
Yeah. You ever oh man, excuse me.
You're good.
You ever like introduce it like a slow jam, like we're gonna slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we
like
do.
almost every single
time.
This one's for the ladies.
Yeah, I mean
go.
the tens of thousands of people at our shows. They're like, nah, like 10 people.
Yeah.
We
Just
played
get a
shows
little-
before where there's only like 5 people out there.
You get a little drunk and everybody just kind of like doubles and triples and it looks like a crazy crowd.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like
Quadruples.
But I like this a lot. I like the lyrics in there. And I'm probably gonna mess it up, but something.
It's okay because we probably don't know the lyrics either.
right.
If that's what you're going for right
Well,
now.
there was a line. When you stop dreaming or something.
Oh yeah, it's something about like working a job, or like no one wants to work a job.
Yeah. Right.
And then just like dreaming. I don't know the lyrics. I told you. I know when I'm playing it, but just to like say it off the top of my head right now, I couldn't even tell you.
But it resonated with me because, that's the thing. You should never stop dreaming. Whatever life is, whatever you should all just continue to strive to keep dreaming for more and stuff, whatever it is. And so, yeah, I agree. There's a lot of that resonated in that song. Again, working the job definitely sucks, but it's kind of the necessary evil to so we can have the fun that we get to do and stuff.
Yeah, you just hit the nail perfectly right there. That's what it's talking about. Yeah, it's just talking about like keep on doing what you love to do.
Right.
And I mean, working jobs is cool though because that can fund your dreams then.
Sure.
So I mean, it's not all bad at the end of the day, but it's just like keep working on the stuff you love to do and don't just like work a job.
and just step up and do it.
Yeah, step up and save yourself.
I was also kind of just thought it was, I just noticing those two titles paired up, starting with S and 2 words a piece. And I was like, also kind of just thought it'd be funny, to see how long you guys can keep that trend going.
Every song starts with that.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that a couple times. I was like, both of these first 2 songs just like coincidentally are like that. Like, there's like a pattern to it.
I was going to be like, stop it. Or, I was going to see how many times different ones we could come up with. But
No, that was just a coincidence, but I've noticed that as well. So that's funny that you bring that up.
Yeah. I think I did that. My buddy Justin, he in the same. I think it might even been S songs also, but yeah, his first 2 singles were Somebody and Someone, and I was like, you should make the. And then we made the joke that he's going to do a whole EP that's called Some Songs, and they're all titled start with some, and unless I thought that was pretty funny.
That is.
But yeah, so we mentioned you guys are working on the record, and we going to have a lot of different variety that to expect from it and everything else. But where is that you guys are recording at and working on this?
So it's called so the studio is called Red Pill Audio or Red Pill
Recording
Studios.
or something like that.
The producer that we go through though, he kind of has his own little thing
It's like
going
a
on in there.
subcontracted kind of thing.
Yeah, and his
Big Bang
Instagram
Recording.
handle or whatever, his website, it's Big Bang Recording.
Okay.
So our producer, his name's Adam White, and we've been going there for the whole process of recording this album, and it's just been nothing but a good experience so far.
Yeah.
So
We
it's
love
been
you,
super
Adam.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We love you.
actually Adam just came to our duck room show last night. That was really cool to see him out there.
Yeah.
And he wore one of those hats called? It was like
They're kind of like the leather, and they
it's like a
look like
newspaper boy hat.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so sick. My dad wears those hats sometimes.
That's an
he has,
Adam
he has
look,
class.
man.
He has style.
It's classy. Yeah, but no, it's been interesting recording with Adam because, we go in there and we know our song and we know what we want, but I mean, we've never been to another recording artist, so we don't really know. But he kind of like, he'll toss in a few ideas. He's like, oh, maybe if you guys like try this or try this, and he kind of like, I don't want to say like writes the songs with us, but like he gives
helps us record it to like the full potential of what the song can be. That's
exactly, yeah.
Because I mean, none of us are like musically trained at all. Like I did lessons. I guess can't say that. I did lessons when I was a kid for a little while, and then I also did bands in high school for 2 years. But these guys never had lessons or anything. No. So whenever we write a song, it's definitely just like garage rock kind of style. Like we're just like writing a song that sounds cool. There's no like rhyme or reason for any of it. So when we go to a studio, it does help a lot to have someone there that's like can tell you where to. Yeah, just like make it sound more like a song that could be on the radio, I guess.
Yeah. And it's also just it's like outside looking in. So he's seeing stuff that we don't notice, so we can get a fresh look on it.
Yeah. I wish I knew more of that world, like, not that it's ever too late. And again, got to keep dreaming. But I do think like that would be something a lot of fun for me. Like, cause I often like kind of, between like doing this and like I meet a lot of bands and they'll send me different like songs, their demo kind of stuff that they're working on, and I'm like, what do you think of this? And I do have those ideas sometimes, like where like, hey, what if we do this and try this, or cut that part or whatever it is, and so I was just like, that's a lot of fun for me, and I would like to it'd be fun to get to do that more of as a career path, and like, but I don't know anything about the
production side,
the behind the board, and and actually doing all that. Like I record this show and stuff. I know how to do what I do, but I don't know any of the rest of the stuff. And like, but it would be kind of interesting to go back to school and like learn some of that stuff and be able to try to apply it. But I don't know. It's something I think about a lot, like just kind of being more involved in the production of music and stuff. And so
it's hard. I've tried to like mess with it a little bit just at home. I have like this thing called Logic. So it's just like you record and stuff on it, but it is so hard to like know what you're doing on there, especially to like mix songs or master a song. I have trouble even just like getting the song to line up with everything. Like it's hard. Right. It is difficult.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it could be cool. It'd be, and I don't know. I just, but I also feel like maybe it could be bad for me though. Could the illusion, the kind of peek behind the curtain, like seeing how it's made might ruin it for how much I enjoy the actual music and stuff. So
yeah, that's a real thing that happens. Hey, that is.
Right. So I don't know, but I right now I just enjoy being a fan and talking about all this stuff. So I'll just keep doing this for now, but maybe someday.
It's funny. There's definitely times like where we get out of the studio and we're like, right before we went in there, we're like, damn, this song's gonna kick ass, and we walk out and we're like, was that even good at all? Like, was that a piece of shit? Just because we heard it so many times.
Right. You just get brain dead in there, man. You're in there for like 8 hours, and like you just like focusing on that song, and you just get fried.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's also not.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice when you get the polished, finished product.
Yeah,
and stuff.
It makes it worth it. Absolutely.
But yeah, I agree. I've been a part of a little bit of that recording where like you're doing the same part over and over, and like getting it, trying to make sure it's exactly perfect and stuff. And
it's gonna be out there forever.
Yeah,
it's gonna nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But again, you can find these two songs on wherever you're getting your digital music at. Be sure to find Misplaced Religion on your Facebook, Instagram, and is there a YouTube channel?
So like whenever we first came out with Step Up, we made a little YouTube channel. We don't even have Save Me on there though, because I kind of forgot about the YouTube channel. But Step Up is on there, so if you type in Misplaced Religion Step Up on YouTube, it'll come up.
There we go. But yeah, get plugged in with the guys and get involved and learn more about when the record's ready to go and all this stuff. But I've been going around asking some questions, and I've been having a lot of fun getting your everybody's take on some of these. And my buddy Matt wrote in on. Actually, I posted on Instagram if anybody had any fan questions, and Matt wrote in, why did you choose this podcast instead of a better podcast that is fun and funny? So
Because it's a little Shaney, man.
Yeah.
That's all that we just need a little Shaney.
That's a shout out to my buddy Matt F. Bosler and the Matt F. Bosler's podcast. I don't know if you guys know him at all, but
I do not know him. I don't think
he's an interesting guy. I'll be sure to show you some of his music afterwards.
Yeah, please do.
No, he's a lot of fun. He's got a great podcast also. If you want to find some other new stuff going on around town, find Matt F. Bosler's podcast and give it a spin. And
cool.
So anyway, that was our fan question segment. Get that one out.
Hey, why is this such a shitty podcast?
All right. So the day comes along. We have a Misplaced Religion action figure box set. What would be 3 accessories you guys would love to see with your different action figure?
Oh God! Should we answer this how we would normally answer this, or no?
All right. Here's what I'll do.
I'll pick one. I'll pick one. Derek, you go first.
It's gonna be just a beer can, an IPA beer can.
Yeah.
Just one hop.
Just hop.
Yeah.
What would you put on it?
My action figure would have like an automated thumb that just like slaps the bass.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I would include a detachable penis for the box set action figure.
Beautiful.
You can just go on and off with and stuff.
Like real life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah.
What's the band called that does that song?
Isn't it, like King Missile or something like that?
Something like this is stupid. Song. You've heard it before, right? Detachable penis.
Yeah.
Just the whole song is saying that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't wait for that box set.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's sold out.
Yeah. All right. What would be a obviously you guys mentioned having a lot of various individual influences and stuff that kind of, but as far as like for the band, who do you guys see would be a dream duet or collaboration you'd like to work with? And
Infant Annihilator.
Is this living and dead or just living? We'll just do living because this is something that we would hopefully
strive
do in the
for.
future.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite band that got me into all this stuff would definitely be Highly Suspect, and I just saw them at the pageant last weekend, and they're just so sick. I mean, but if I really had to pick anybody like in the entire world to do songs with, probably do like Elton John or something.
Oh.
I thought
Elton
you were
John.
going to say Jack
Yeah, I was
White.
expecting Mr. White.
Well, Jack White's sick too, but Elton John is like,
The man.
yeah. I mean, what was it? I think he's sold like the second most amount of records ever of all time. And I don't know who's first. But he's sold out. Beatles. I think it's the Beatles are probably first, or Michael Jackson. I don't know. I never liked
It
Michael
doesn't matter.
Jackson. Yeah, I don't know what I'm getting at with this, but Elton John. Elton John would probably be just so awesome.
yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
What about you guys? What about you, Derek and Jabo?
I feel like playing like as a band, we wouldn't really match the style that I usually listen to. So like as far as like a fucking hell of a show, it'd have to be like Highly Suspect,
The Black Keys
Royal
as
Blood,
well. The Black Keys would be so cool.
Yeah, because that's like he said, that's kind of like where I guess the influence began, especially for you guys when we were like making the band and the songs and everything. But yeah, so I just have to go with Highly Suspect just because.
Right.
Or we
I'm
kind of
not envious of the Richters or anything.
we kind of have a couple heavier ones now too. So if we ever could like play a festival of like a heavy festival, like a hard rock festival, that would be sick. Like one of the bands that got me into rock and roll was like Slipknot. Well, into metal, I guess. But those guys are just insane. Like that would be so sick to be on. Even if we were like the opener to the opener to the opener of Slipknot or something, that'd be crazy.
I think it was like an Ozfest. Pretty sure years ago, and Slipknot was there, and I remember it was at the Hollywood Casino, Riverport, or whatever, and they hit the stage, and I can't remember now what song like But anyway, whatever. What like as soon as the first note, obviously everybody knew what was gonna happen, and like, and everybody just like lost their mind. And I remember like the entire lawn, like that whatever they had in their hand, beer, soda, whatever, like it all like went up in the air, and immediately just mosh pit, and like, and so I snapped this picture, and like it literally looked like it was like raining beer cups and stuff, and like and it just got. It was like one of the craziest parties I've ever been a part of. Like those guys, definitely a lot of fun, and their crowd is insane. Like it's just a massive party out there. And
that's my favorite part of all that metal stuff is that like the mosh pits. Like,
right.
That's crazy. Another guy would be like Rob Zombie.
Sure.
He's so awesome because he makes like those movies and shit. He makes the most crazy,
right.
gruesome movies that you can ever even see. And he's just such like a visionary, that guy. Like his music videos, super crazy.
His live shows about the same way though too. Like if you ever get to see him, like,
I've never seen him live.
but he's like he had this, and again I can't think what song, but he had like this like fully operational like robot guy that came out like and like walk across the stage and stuff, and like I'm probably somebody in this suit or whatever, but it's just like it looks cool like that it's like a character on the stage and everything with him and stuff, and like but it was just like stuff like that, like there's a lot of theatrics that go along with his live show and stuff. So
yeah, well, whenever you're a millionaire, maybe whenever we're millionaires, we'll get robots on stage and
right,
shit.
yeah, man.
I'm super into the Deftones right now. Like I really, how I go about music is I just go into like phases, like weekly almost. I'm just like I find a band and like for that week, that's who I'm riding with.
Sure.
So right now it's the Deftones.
Well, you guys mentioned like Jack White and Dan Auerbach and or the Black Keys, but I was like those guys do a lot of producing and stuff too with other and like I just thinking about that world too. Like that could be cool to like just have Dan produce a track with you all or whatever it is, and like that would just be an incredible experience to see what how he could push the sound and make it something different and stuff too. So
talking about like the dream of everything, like my dream really is to Jack White has a record label called Third Man Records. I can't see anything cooler than getting signed to Third Man Records. Like, so that's really like at the end of the day, if we ever got signed to that.
Yeah. I'll make some calls. I'll see if I can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I agree, man. That would be incredible for sure. And like, big fan of what everything. I mean, Jack's one of the like White Stripes. I didn't really get into at first. Like, I remember Fell in Love with a Girl was like all over the radio, and like I just didn't really click with me, and like I was just like, and then I don't know. It's like some time goes by, and I just recently revisited a bunch of that stuff. I started listening to this podcast, The 500, with Josh Adam Myers, and he goes through Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time, and I think it was maybe Elephant or something, and then they're like going through the record and I don't know, just hearing the stories behind the songs and like really like listening to the record for the first time that way, and like experiencing the and like hearing it all that, and it was like kind of made me have a whole new fresh perspective on it, and I really started getting into it a lot more. And so I just recently like started really like getting into White Stripes and stuff. So it's like I don't know what it was at the time, but it just didn't really just didn't click for me at the first time. But I've always liked Jack. But now I really have a new appreciation for what they were doing as White Stripes and stuff too.
Yeah, and he does like the Dead Weather and just his solo Jack White projects and Rackets Wars. Yeah. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a fanboy of Jack White. Yeah. So.
But yeah, no, that'd be pretty wild to get to somehow be associated with him and in that sense, or the record label or whatever, anything. But yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's all right, what about what's a movie or TV show you wish you were in? Is there anything that you guys would think about, like a world you would want to be a part of or anything?
It's kind of hard for me to say. I do like videography and whatnot, so like I really enjoy like horror stuff and like fucked up stuff, because like the reason I enjoy it is because like happy movies and funny movies, they make you laugh and whatnot, but horror stuff, it makes you like just feel, you know? And so I don't know if I could like comfortably say I want to be a part of the stuff that I enjoy. And that's like all that I know. Yeah, so I don't know where to go with that. I'd say maybe like Black Mirror, just because the worlds are cool, but like,
yeah, that's what a lot of people like say, like Breaking Bad or what these shows that they love, and I'm like, I don't know that I want to be in that world though. Like, you know, it's kind of fucked up, you know?
Yeah,
it's like, but
I don't know if anyone that is going to listen to this is going to understand what I'm even trying to say here, but there's these videos on Instagram, right? Hear me out. Let me continue. Videos on Instagram, and it's like, what fantasy world would you choose to live in? And then there's just like a whole bunch of super sick artwork that's going with like the super vibey music. I don't. Yeah. See, now
I know what you're talking about because you send it to me, but like I wouldn't know how to.
I was gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about though. It's just like these super weird, like abstract worlds, though. Pretty much. I don't know how to describe it like without showing somebody. Like it's a visual thing, I guess. So I know it's not a TV or a show, but
so you want to be in the Instagram video? Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. I just want to be trapped inside of an Instagram video for all of eternity.
Right.
What you got, Derek?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'd probably die.
That's fair.
But Game of Thrones.
All right.
Just ride a dragon or two, no big deal.
I'll just hold up in Winterfell. I'll be good. Be a Stark.
Yeah.
Or Hot Rod.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Such a underrated classic for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I retract everything that I said I would actually want to be in the Hot Rod universe.
I want to be in the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, so good. Wow, it's one of those that I think is very underappreciated. Like it's a pretty silly movie.
It's never not funny.
Yeah.
It's like every scene is funny.
It really is. Like,
Seriously.
I can't think of a better comedy than that. I mean, that's
Right.
like there's nothing better than that for me at least.
Yep, it's a good one.
I think it's better than Step Brothers even, and that's like that's at the top of everybody's pedestal whenever they start talking about comedy movies.
I don't know, like Step Brothers, especially for me, like there's so much of that I lived. So like it makes it.
It was too much for you to handle while you were watching it.
It makes me like, well, no, because like, not that we were, in our 40s like they were, but I had a stepbrother, not had, but we're. It's not necessarily a stepbrother. They never married or anything, but we were living together for a while. And so, but he's still like a brother to me. And anyway, so. But we had the bunk beds. We had, it was just everything was about that. And it was like so much of that was like, man, this was some of my best times of my life. But it was just crazy that how much of that they captured as 2 40-year-old guys and like, doing that. But it was a lot of fun to watch and it's hilarious. And so Step Brothers for sure is one of my absolute favorites.
It's a classic.
Yeah. But I would agree. Hot Rod is right there. And they're both, I just recently watched, it's on Netflix now, 21 Jump Street, which I haven't watched in a while. And I was like crying, laughing. There was so much of that. Like, I was like, I forgot how funny this movie is, man. I was funny. Like, there's just so much dumb shit in that one too. So, all right. If there was something you guys could get into the Guinness Book of World Records for, what do you think it might be?
I'll just look at each other whenever these questions pop up. Say it, Javo.
Yeah, just do it. Come on. We're all thinking it.
World's
biggest ego.
ego. Who would have that in the band?
Definitely Derek.
Yeah, definitely me.
Derek's an asshole. So how the band is structured, actually, it's like Jabo and Derek are assholes, and I'm the only nice guy.
That's exactly what it is.
100%.
We have a rhythm section egos.
All right.
Yeah.
Front man.
Yeah, being like the back.
I don't know. I can't form what I'm trying to say here.
Fuck, what was the question? Guinness Book of World Records.
Well,
I know what Derek's would be, but I'll...
What? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you go and tell me what mine is, and I'll tell you what yours is.
I don't know. Just being the cutest, sexiest drummer that I could possibly have asked for in this band. What's mine? What's mine? Come on, dude. We're on a time crunch right now.
I know. Now I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
All right. Derek McDonough, everybody.
Fuck you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jabba, what are you going in
I
for?
got nothing,
Come
man.
on.
Yeah.
It would
we
be
all kinda
cool.
suck.
You know, world's biggest bass collection would be cool.
There you go.
We're gonna take it real
Or
Okay.
for a
biggest
second.
vape clouds that
There
you
we
blow.
go.
Most Natalie Portman Star Wars memorabilia collection would be cool. That's what I'd want.
Yep. I think we can make those happen.
You know, I know what mine would be now. Biggest collection of Ryan Krupinski action figures with the detachable penises. That would be my Guinness World.
I would also
Yeah.
put a pinball machine in there. I'm putting 2 things in there: the detachable
No.
penis in the box set and a pinball machine.
You only get one, man.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Having the most pinball machines. There's your
I do love pinball machines.
having the world.
I love all arcade games. We just got like this Galaga machine in my basement.
All right.
So sick.
Yeah. We had Dad had bought us a couple like I think it was like an asteroids machine or something kind of thing, and kind of I don't know, something like we had 2 old school arcade games and we had an old pinball machine and stuff, and like it was nice when we had it rigged up where you could just you open the door and hit the little quarter thing instead of having to actually put money in it. So it was just like, all right, there's 50 lives. All right, now we can play all day and stuff. And like, so,
Yeah.
but no, I think that's, it's cool that they're like kind of bringing those, they have like they sell them at Walmart now, like some of the, like, whatever they're called.
Just those
But-
classic video games like Pac-Man machines.
right.
and
But yeah, you
stuff
can just like
that.
go into Walmart and buy an arcade game and take it home.
That's what we
Yeah.
did. Yeah,
Right.
that's literally what we did.
So-
There's this cool pinball place though somewhere like it's like on the Grove, I think, in St. Louis. I forget what it's called.
Yeah. Silver Ballroom.
Yes, that. I want to go there. I haven't
Yeah.
been there yet. Seems awesome though.
For sure. Yeah. I've never been yet either, but yeah, that'd be fun. Spend a day or 2 in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Or a week.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, very cool, man. This has been a ton of fun, guys. Getting to catch up and like I said, getting to properly sit down and talk about some of this stuff. Like so I'm gonna have to come out and see another show here soon and see what throw down, and hopefully we'll have a record release party coming up here not too
Yeah.
long.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And all these things. So, again, find Misplaced Religion all over social media and digital music and things. But I appreciate you guys doing this today.
Appreciate
as
you
well,
coming out,
For
man. It
real,
was a lot
this
of
has been
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I say we do it when the record's ready to go, and I can't wait to hear what else you guys got.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Cooking
excited
up,
for you
so.
to hear it, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited for everyone to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you guys. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.